Welcome, ID Crisis. How are you,
There
sir?
he is. There he is.
Yes!
Yo,
What up?
could you could you hear that music?
Yeah, man. I mean,
Okay.
it's like kind of muffled, but I mean, that's like not unusual for streaming.
Muffled. Okay.
Yes.
Maybe see I don't know why it wasn't coming. It should have come. It should have here. I'll actually go to the other microphone here. I'm gonna try to let's see if we do. I don't know why you're on that side, but that's the side.
That's okay. Hey, man, you just need to tinker with it with StreamYards. You'll get the hang of it. It's relatively non counterintuitive.
Yeah, kind of. I guess it's here. I'll go over to the other microphone. So when I'm on the drawing table, my microphone is the camera microphone,
Gotcha.
and what's supposed to happen when I throw that video out there is the sound is supposed to come from the computer.
Right.
I don't think it was. I think it was coming over the speakers through this microphone, and
That would explain it.
yeah,
I hear that a lot though when people are playing music or people are playing trailers. So whatever's happening there
mhm.
is
Oh,
hardly unusual.
you know what? I think I know what it was. I was there's an aggregate microphone or something that's it's like it's the I had this microphone picked instead of this microphone and the computer.
Hmm.
Hopefully, I'll remember for next time. So, did you get to read the description
The description for the
for
video?
this? Yeah.
No,
Okay,
no,
that's not
no idea.
necessary. I mean, there's like maybe some sentimental stuff in there about where the idea came from, but
Gotcha.
um, my sister used to, she got me into comic books and drawing and things like that. And when we were kids, and even further back when I was a really little, my dad would tuck us in instead of a story or something like that. He'd pull out a piece of paper and draw like a cop car or something that he was into.
Yeah,
And
that's so cool.
right, and then so when I was older, my older sister would kind of do the same thing with my brother and I. You met him,
Yeah, of
and
course,
right, and
Jeff.
yeah, right, Jeff on the horror stream. So
Hmm.
basically, what it was you asked a bunch of questions, and by the time you were done, you had some sort of a character sitting there. So not knowing you know, we kind of knew that we were into like comic books and things like that. And she basically expected if she was going to ask a question that she was going to get a little boy's version of whatever their favorite character is, maybe something different. Okay. But it goes like, it's sort of like classifying something, is it whatever we're going to be drawing here? Is it going to be a humanoid? Is it going to be something that's more like a monster or an animal or whatever? And then you would pick that basic shape. And then we go from there as if it applies, male or female. Does it fly? And if it flies, is it powered? Is it natural? If it's natural flight, is it winged flight or not winged flight? If it's winged flight, is it feathers, leather, or insect or other?
That's a great idea for a mind game.
That's what I'm hoping to do here.
Okay, all right,
something
man.
Unique, because I see David Finch does all kinds of cool stuff when he's drawing, and it is. I don't know how interactive it is as far as like he'll ask his chat ahead of time what he's going to draw and they'll vote on it. But hopefully, my hope is that eventually there will be a chat that is big enough to where, okay, Miami Spice is in.
I was just about to say, what up, Miami?
Yeah, and I'm way over here by my phone, so you get to pull double duty. You answer questions and people know that they exist.
But acknowledge their existence, right? But also, dude, I'm sorry, I'm probably gonna have to cut out in like 15 minutes or something like that.
All right, well, let's just get started then, and
okay.
I'll take whatever questions you have, and then I'll wing it from there.
Okay. All right.
Okay. So let's start with are we talking about something a humanoid or like man, woman, alien?
I was at this
monster.
I was thinking of animal, vegetable, mineral man from
basically that's you have the right idea. But you can the thing from another world was vegetable.
Yes, was like referred to as like a walking carrot. Yeah. Right.
And those zombies in The Last of Us are all fungus.
Also, the zombies in what's it called? The Girl with All the Gifts.
Oh, they are?
Yeah, if you haven't seen that, it's fantastic.
I just didn't pick up on that detail.
Oh yeah. Like remember, they kind of like they all conglomerate into like this massive pile, like this massive pillar. Okay. That's and that's going to release all these spores.
Okay. All right. No, I'll probably have to go back and check it out. I remember, in World War Z, for the trash that it was, I remember seeing that formation where they're like heading for the sound and they all have their different characteristics as far as, everybody has to get a special spin on their undead. Are they slow? Are they fast?
Yeah, I was really disappointed with the World War Z movie because the novel is visionary. Right, it's by
It's a bunch of different short stories. I thought the one that was the most unique was the guy that suffered from that rare disease where your entire anatomy is set up mirrored, and he needed a heart transplant, and the only one they could find was from an infected. They didn't know it.
Yep. That's how well, not the real patient zero. The original patient zero was a little kid, a little boy in China, but that's how it got over here.
Right. Yeah, and I remember because I listened to it. Nathan Fillion read one of the stories.
Oh my God! Henry from Black Flag is on there. Mm-hmm. Mark Hamill is on there. Jürgen Prochnow is on there. A lot of people are on there. I always recommend, like, anybody that likes audiobooks, I'm always like, check out World War Z.
Yeah, that's a good one.
It just it pisses me off. It's like, I love Brad Pitt, but at the same time, I'm like, bruh, you bought the rights just to have the title.
All they had to do was call it something else.
Yes.
Yeah, like that 1994 Motley Crue CD with John Corabi,
which you told me is the shit.
It is, and I was not lying.
Well, I always I could never get into Motley Crue because of Vince Neil. So
wow. You and me both. Come on in. The water's fine, man.
Okay, so animal, vegetable, mineral. I would think Wow. I always have a thing for monsters naturally.
Okay, that's
and
fine.
and monsters. I mean, I'm a grown up monster kid, and the interesting thing about monsters, if you get like really deep into like the scholarship of studying monsters, which of course I had to because
It's a thing that you have to
because
do it. It's a
yeah,
thing.
yeah, yeah, because I have a hard on for monsters. And monsters are usually combinations, at least the original monsters, meaning the monsters that go back into antiquity, are usually combinations of different animals sort of slapped together.
Okay, yeah. So like the way Greek mythology would handle a griffin or a manticore, it's part this and part
Absolutely.
that. Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
A challenge then. Is that what you're thinking of doing? Is combining two animals and I'm gonna monsterify them?
Well, I mean, I'm just like throwing ideas out there.
Okay. Well, no, I can do that. That's not
Yeah,
an
yeah,
issue. I'm just
yeah.
like on the page right now. I'm just trying to figure out by looking at the camera what my bottom and my top is, so that
Gotcha.
I don't draw outside these bounds. Let's you know what I was also thinking might work with this, being that it's a test drive, is um, they have like wheels of that, like I say, like wheels of fortune, but like prize wheels that you can spin.
That's a
You
good
know,
idea.
and then so
Yeah,
you
it's a
could
good
put a
idea.
bunch of subjects up there, and then just keep going, and close the tab, spin the wheel, and then close that tab, and then spin the next wheel and close that tab.
It's a good idea, man.
Yeah, I mean that's what it's all like, because like Doc was or Doc Pops was right about, like he's actually keyed in, he's doing what he's supposed to do, and I'm sitting here and like trying to do comic book reviews, and all it is a waste of time, because one, I really don't know what to say about something if I don't like it, because I'm friends with a lot of the people that are really just trying to get started, and the last thing that I want to
Mhm.
do is stomp on them when they're still in the garage band stages.
Oh yeah. Well,
You know
here's
what
the
I mean? And
thing. Oh, of
that's
course. You don't
yeah,
want to
and
discourage anybody, but you can give feedback in a way that's not discouraging.
right. But even in like review form in a video, like I don't want to. The amount of time that I keep complaining about that I don't have. Why am I sitting in front of a computer editing a video of something that I don't know that I should be doing, or not when I should be doing this?
Right.
So that was, and I mean, it's one of those like V8 moments. You slap yourself in the head, like, what? Why am I even bothering? you know. But pick a. Let's make it sort of. I guess is it possible to make it humanoid and an animal, or humanoid and in a couple of animals? And if it's going to be humanoid, male or female, because you can get a whole different kind of appeal out of a female, you know,
Absolutely.
snake
Uh,
bat woman.
right. You can get like a little bit of a sexy thing going, a little attraction, revulsion
Could be.
thing. Um,
But
naturally, of course, what?
you have to pick, at least you have to give me some sort of direction before you go, and then I can take it from there, and we'll see,
Okay.
and so we'll see what we get. And
Right.
then if Miami is watching, she can throw some ideas in too.
Hell yeah. And
Okay.
anybody else
What
who
happens by
who happens by. Yeah, and by the way, I just wanted to say
anybody else who
also.
stumbles into this dive.
Well, dude, this is your first stream in this series, right? This is your first
Yeah,
stream.
yeah. I'm hoping I'm onto something unique. And
Only one way to find out, and that's by doing it, brother.
yeah,
And you're
exactly.
doing it.
We learn by doing, to quote Captain Kirk.
Oh, always, always. You
Okay,
know.
so what are you thinking? Woman, man,
I was thinking man,
man.
but
Okay.
but that's also because like I can't help it right now. I just have like. Did you ever?
No,
I mean, do you ever?
that's fine, because I mean I don't mind going to a cozy I don't mind going to a cozy place on my first one either.
Right, right. Because once you start talking about a woman, naturally you start thinking sexy, and then then you're moving into dangerous territory.
Oh yeah, yeah. The stream will be done before it started.
No, no, no. I mean just like psychologically dangerous, where people are gonna be like, "Oh, you're a furry" or some shit like that.
Yeah, whatever. Yeah, well, they can project all they want.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Okay, so
Like all the douchebags that were like accusing Six Gun Gorilla of being a furry book. I'm like, first of all, it's
yeah, the other one wasn't accused of that.
well, I mean, no, well, but also it was just like, wait a second, like furries, those are like anthropomorphic animals, and mine isn't an anthropomorphic gorilla. It's a fucking gorilla.
Yeah,
And they don't have fur; they have hair. God damn it! So if you want to call me a hairy or call it a hairy book, that's fine. But get your shit straight.
yeah, it is a hairy book. I remember Susan is cranky these days, so you never know what will get you yeeted. Yeah, yeah, I don't know. It would be wrong to probably get me yeeted if I was to say that Susan is more fickle than even most women.
Well,
She can't make up her mind on what's yeetable and what isn't. But that's not to
well, that's why you
disparage
can't worry about it.
the fine young women that we all know and love. That is
Yes.
our audience at the moment.
Yes.
Okay.
And here's the thing too. Also, with like algorithms and all that stuff, we just have to like try to not worry about that stuff because also our channels are so small.
Yeah.
It's and we're not monetized, and so there's no need to really just kind of like lock our minds down and constantly second guess like everything that we say and do. Oh, what up, Susie?
Hey, Susie, tried is here. Awesome. Thanks for hanging out. What animal are we putting with this guy? I mean, we can't do a whole
Stegosaurus.
Is a Stegosaurus? Which one's that? Is that the one with the? Sorry, Triceratops has the 3 horns.
Yes.
Stegosaurus, is that the one with the? No, Brontosaurus is the huge one.
Yes.
I'm gonna have to look it up.
Yeah. Stegosaurus, I think, was my favorite when I was a kid. Looks sort of armored like a tank, and has like a big like spiked club for a tail. If I'm remembering my my dinosaurs correctly.
It's showing me bones. All right. Yeah. All right. Cool. So then what I should see now, this is one of the drawbacks to getting the frame started before you start answering questions. Is should I? He's okay this way. I'll just make sure that the tail displays
Right.
those. In fact, shouldn't the tail go this way if the tree is going this way?
And of course, just want to say really quickly, I got some notes coming your way, sir.
Yeah, yeah, that's cool. I'm looking forward to that. I was listening to those the old. I don't want to say they were not the old timers. They were I think it was the Bros,
the professionals, yeah.
Graham Nolan and stuff, and they were talking about when those ideas come to them and about dialogue and stuff and how much room there isn't, and it had me thinking about my page 2 and how even though I cut out some stuff, it still feels wordy to me. Like I don't feel like that character should have a lot to say when he's got that helmet on his head. It should be straightforward. Like if he's going to say anything to anybody, it should be commands, especially if it's like to a bad guy. He doesn't need to sound like a Robert B. Parker character. Like he shouldn't sound like Spencer.
No. In fact, if it's cool for us to talk shop here, I was thinking, if anything, he should sound unhinged.
That's it. Did you see the first couple pages?
Yeah.
Okay, then that's what somebody's laughing hysterically upstairs. They just got home from the mall. Who knows what they've ingested?
Odds are lots of sugar.
Yeah, probably. My point was anyway, yeah, that there is a sound changing aspect to that helmet. So when he's speaking in that intimidating voice, it reads, the font changes.
Of course.
And when he's speaking to children, the word balloon too. The word balloon looks scraggly and jagged and stuff. And when he's talking to kids, it has like little hearts and stuff around it.
Right.
You know what I
Right.
mean?
Right.
So
Right.
it's a,
Yeah,
so
of
that
course.
the reader knows that he's speaking in a voice that would not scare children.
Right.
Um,
I mean, very old, very simple comics technique.
yes,
You
yes,
know, the gravelly, disembodied voice
yeah,
versus like
exactly.
one that's all sparkly or yeah.
Right, and in the helmet, the guy that's on the other end, who's controlling that stuff, is he's the one who's changing it as the as the leader. He can see everything that's going on, so it's not like he's controlling him. He's just basically, it's another set of eyes.
Right.
Yeah. Let's see, but yeah, I'm looking forward to what you have to say
Yeah,
and what
I'm
you
looking
think.
forward to sharing too. I mean, um, I think you got something really good here. Do you have the whole thing plotted?
I have the whole thing plotted up to the end of the last issue, although I don't know that it should stop there. I might want it to go further.
Oh, that's
Just
fine. That's
because
fine.
I don't know how far I want to take the first issue, because it ends dramatically. It does not end where I mean, I shouldn't say it doesn't end in a, it's not predictable, but in the same way that Matt had his origin story in the second issue, which is
Mhm.
this the reason why I wanted to showcase the finished character in the first 8 to 9 pages, is so that they wouldn't nobody would have to wait to get to that spot where, okay, when are we going to finally meet this guy? You know what I mean?
Right.
Um, because it is a team effort. It's at the end of the first issue, where like a real dramatic panel reveal that we finally see what's going on. Somebody has been watching him, and because in the first issue, the only time that you see everything working in conjunction the way that it's supposed to is those first 8 pages, and then the origin story starts. But it's the origin story of how we got of it's the Bruce Wayne's parents in the alleyway portion. It's the
Right.
trauma part.
Right.
It's not the, okay, what are we going to do about it part. The, okay, what are we going to do about it part, and how we get to those first 8 pages. That is the second issue. I don't even know if, am I making sense?
Yeah. No, you
Because
are.
I mean, there's such,
Absolutely.
yeah, there's a lot to put together, because there's so many characters and different aspects, um, to how it should work.
Right.
And Melissa Jane is here. Hello.
What up, Melissa Jane?
Can you guys actually see what's happening? I hope so.
Oh yeah, no, absolutely. It's looking cool. Yeah, and I can't help it with like the dinosaur stuff, because just for some reason today I was obsessing over Animal Vegetable Mineral Man from Doom Patrol. You ever read those comics when you were a kid?
I have a Doom Patrol, and the only reason I have it is because it's one of those unfinished ones.
Yeah,
I'll pick up a director's cut of a comic book. I don't care what the title is. Like, I have a Thor, I have an X Factor, I have a
yeah.
Spider-Man, and that Doom Patrol is inked but not word ballooned. You know what I
Oh,
mean? Where
okay.
they
Yeah,
have
yeah,
it,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
where it's unfinished in the front and scripted in the back. I'm a sucker
Right.
for those.
Yeah, no, those are great. I love those too, because that gives you an idea of the process.
Exactly. And that's something that if I don't get that right, then this first issue is just going to fall on its face, and it'll just taste bad and smell bad.
Yeah, but here's the thing. Here's the thing. You're not going to put out a shitty comic
No,
because
I'm not going to do it knowingly.
right. But friends don't let friends embarrass themselves in
Friends don't
public.
let friends drive drunk. Friends don't let friends draw drunk.
No, well, I mean,
That's why I have coffee over here.
oh shit, dude. I'm sorry. I do have to go. I have to give a friend a ride.
No, that's cool.
So I do apologize for that, because I also wanted to powwow with you
No,
on
that's fine.
this.
That's fine. I mean, I'll be on this. If you want to, like, you go do what you have to do. If I happen to be on when you come back,
Okay.
then that's cool too. And then I'll probably I'll probably want to private the rest.
Okay, that's all
Yeah.
good.
Okay.
Absolutely. All right. All right.
See
Peace.
you, maybe see you. Who knows?
All right.
But
Right.
thanks for giving me the start.
No, you got it, man. You got it. Peace and love to everybody in the chat, and peace out, brother.
All right, take it easy. Be careful. All right. You know what? I'm just gonna do this just in case anybody feels like talking. Oh man, that went out to Twitch too. That could be a mistake. Who knows? We'll see what comes in here. Everybody here has been wrenched, so that's good. Okay. Now I'm actually the more I draw this, the more I'm thinking this is almost exactly the same body position that David Finch's werewolf was in, or at least sort of kinda. And I'm trying to I want to make it not last forever. Time is a factor. So for anybody who was here kind of late, what oh yeah, what are you filling your face with? I had 6 taquitos, which is, I mean, it's actual food, but it kind of disguises itself as a snack until you finish 6 of them, and then you're like, holy shit, what did I just do? But the concept behind this is that you would ask questions of your subject about a character, and Brian has a tendency to go in the monster direction, so that's kind of what we're doing. And he wanted to do we don't want to do it like a wolf man or a snake woman or whatever, so we're doing a Stegosaurus man. Slow cooked chicken, mashed potatoes, and veg. No, you either had slow cooked chicken, mashed potatoes, and vegetables, or you had slow cooked chicken, mashed potatoes, and then you vegged, which also can happen. I think Dave Chappelle refers to it as the itis. You did that. I cooked. I wonder if this is too bright. Yeah, but then I can't see what I'm doing. Anyways, yeah, we had I made chicken wings, famous chicken wings for the game, watching Buffalo play, and then they were like really good, and the people in the household, that being my wife, begged me to make the chicken wings again one night later, which is a little bit strange, but you know, you got to do what you got to do. Okay, I'm gonna see if I can open this hand up in a claw. Thumb there. Hey, Jen with no filter. Hello. I'd wrench you, but I'm not by the computer. I'm just staring at the phone and concentrating on the drawing. So I'm just kind of like looking up every now and again to make sure that I'm not missing any chats. Which is why it's always handy having somebody on the other end, so I can do this and then they can read stuff to me. Whenever I see David Finch's streams, he's drawing, his wife normally, or somebody will be looking at the chat, reading it, and then he can answer. He doesn't really have to pay attention and read anything and take his attention away from the drawing. Nub graphics, of anybody's familiar with watching Orange County Chopper. Nub is responsible for doing a lot of the graphics on those motorcycles in the later seasons. On his Facebook show, he's got somebody reading, and for somebody who's doing an art stream, it really seems to be the way to go. No, I mean, I'll get it there eventually. I just don't want to. I don't want to leave here and not draw. But I'm not afraid. I'm not afraid to give out wrenches. Okay, let's see. Quad. I have the tail come off the ab muscles, and then bottom here, go behind this foot. Now I wonder with a dinosaur, I could do something dinosaur with the actual. Get off my paper. The actual foot. Man, this lead is I don't know if this lead is too light or not, but feels like it. I want to bring this heel back some more so that I can bend the leg back. I think this leg here might be a little too long, so. Feathery type hair. Yeah, Miami. I think you did mention that. Yes, because that's funny. I remember what prompted that part of the conversation was the amount of drama that happened in that show. Those cats wasted a lot of time not building motorcycles. Yeah. Okay. I think this muscle actually, this is, okay, we want to do this. Then this muscle goes up on the top here. Knee, then that. Okay. Yeah, any professionals who want to critique me on my anatomy, go right ahead. I'm a big boy, I can take it. That should be shadowed underneath. There's some sort of stuff in the way here. Yeah, too many books to read, too many books to write. Let's give them some ground. I think I kind of like the way this toe thing is working. Okay, so the tail's going to have to be nice and beefy to accommodate the Stegosaurus spikes. Which are going to go like this. Yeah. So it's kind of like a wall that slowly tips over and then winds back around. It's sort of like roller coasters. Maybe this should drop down a little bit more. It doesn't look necessarily, doesn't look thick enough. I don't want it to be like skinny and then not big and fat around the end. Okay. And these are like basic shapes. I'm gonna try to make them a little bit more like angular and jagged and stuff. But first things first, basic shapes. And every once in a while, you have to like kind of sit back and see if your proportions are way off, because that can happen. You concentrate so much on like one leg, and then you get that really good, and then you back up and you see that the one is just like way shorter than the other. And as much as you can, try to draw the whole thing at once. Now, really, right here, I could take the easy way out, which I'm going to because time is an issue. And I'm going to put this, so he's kind of like coming out from behind this tree and have, vegetation and stuff. There's nothing wrong with that. Normally, I'm always trying to draw every part of the body all the time because there's a sort of like a weight room thing, or I'll feel like I'm cheating if I don't show everything. But it's not about showing off. It's about doing what the story needs and doing what the picture needs. Oh, Weird Debbie's here. What's up? Okay, so let's see. This would all be kind of like dark back here. Some plants, blah, blah, blah. Oh yeah. It's I guess it's not so bad to be obsessive compulsive if you're obsessive compulsive about the right thing at the right time. And the thing that Brian and I were talking about, you have to be really economical when you're using like dialogue and writing in a comic book, because, and this is just something, it's not something that I just learned, but it was the way that it was put in the one stream that I was listening to last night. Made all the sense in the world. It's like in a book or in a novel, unless you're Hemingway, you can over explain and add all kinds of texture and stuff, because once you got the person in there and they're reading it, there's just there's time. You can write 800-page novels, and if they're good, somebody will read them. I don't know if I want to do that, unless I would do. Yes, I do. As long as it goes over the shoulder like this. And then it would make sense. It would be like a piece of armor, natural armor, that sort of guards his head. Robert B. Parker, like one of those like dime store detective novels, they read really fast. Even Stephen King would say that writing short stories is harder because you have to be really economical, and you edit all kinds of stuff. And in a movie, you've only got 2 hours. So writing a movie or a TV show is different. Writing a comic book is different because you've only got so much room on the page. And it really, I think in some ways, it even takes more skill to characterize, to put attitude and really get to know a character over one issue versus a few, because you've only got like 20 some pages and only so many panels, and they're not on every page and they're not on every panel. So you have to be really smart about how you do it. You guys talking about getting sick? Don't do that. Have some chicken soup from the slow cooker with vegetables. That's good for you. And if you really want to open your sinuses, some chicken wings. Yeah, don't get sick. I command it. There, it's fixed. Okay, let's see. This is all. I got moonlight here. I'm going to want to make this a little bit darker. And this is also something I'm not awesome with, is making things dark, because there's a lack of detail, and again, I'm not showing everything, but so mode it to be. That is a where did I see that? That's a Masonic thing. That's like a, what are those guys called? Freemasons. I actually had to paint that on the back of somebody's fender. So mote it be. In other words, so be it, or amen. Okay, let's see. We got spikes on the head. We got some spiky protuberances on the shoulder. Got them on the tail. This hand is not finished. I'm not necessarily liking it a ton. We might start this over. I have a book of 100 hands and faces, but I don't want to take the time to look through it. Straight out, curl down. And there. I'm actually kind of looking at my own hand. I've got it like pulsated in front of me, and hopefully I'll be able to yeah, all right. I might have something here. There. No, I don't think that's really that drastic enough. Wait a minute. As long as I'm making it easy on myself. And we're talking about a dinosaur guy. Then why are we using 4 fingers? Yeah, I can do the same thing with this hand back here. Just kind of get a little claw formation at the end of this thing here, and there. Is that what you guys are known as? The usual suspects? Over here, you can be called that. I don't have a problem. Usual Suspects is good. I mean, as long as you're enjoying yourself, that's great. Because eventually, maybe the next time that I do this, and I am going to have to come up with some kind of a schedule, but the next time I do this, I might, well, you guys can answer me this because I'm not even sure. Can you, if you are wrenched, can you do a poll? Because eventually, if this is big enough, then I would rather have, and it might take forever, but have the chat vote on what should happen with the character, if that makes sense. But that might be too much heavy lifting. Okay, this arm's going to cast a shadow here. Like all this is going to be in shadow. Shadow into the pec. I have to set it up, okay. Somebody said hello, Germs. That means that Germs is in here somewhere. Is that true? I didn't see him. Oh, anyways, welcome if you're here. Okay, this is going to cast a big shadow here. So if I'm really lucky, I know you guys, we might have been talking about this before, but dog's going into the vet to be drugged so he can have his nails cut. And then I'm going to have a conversation with them about obtaining said controlled substances for home use so that I can cut the dog's nails while he is out. I might even leave a treat for him under his pillow after I'm done if he behaves himself. Because holy crap, the last time that we took him, and they, I mean, he had like another appointment, but they could not do it. They could not, for the life of them, cut his nails. He was moving around too much. He'll make noises like you're hurting him, even though all you're trying to do is just hold him still. So who knows what kind of previous owner he had. We've never been able to get in touch with him. All right. Oh, squab bob, that sucks. Yeah, we got 3 of them or 4 of them, and it was like there's 3 of us holding him down with the muzzle on while he's whining and crying and all this stuff. And I'm like, just let's do it and get it over with. But all of his tugging and all that, you can't get the clippers, you can't aim. So whenever we go, they're gonna put him in. They're gonna put him out, and then yeah, I can just happen to knock out. I'm ready to just knock him out with a rubber mallet, cartoon style. Because like I don't know if you can see this. Okay, that's me owning this dog and just like and playing with him. That's scratches everywhere. And he's part boxer. I know we've talked about this before, but he's part boxer, which means his paws are always up and at you all the time. Let's see. I know I can put some texture for the skin. Actually, this might work if I get a little bit of this behind here, there, like that. I don't really know what dinosaur scale type stuff looks like. I don't think it looks like a snake's belly. So I'm just gonna kind of make it like the way it would look like cobblestone. Again, the dog does not use his teeth on me. It just opens his mouth. Yeah, I mean, every dog's different. Our other dog, he wasn't really mouthy, although, I mean, for all intents and purposes, their mouth is their hands. It's they do all. I mean, not like they've got opposable thumbs in there or anything like that, but obviously, they do more with their mouth than they do with their paws. But I have found that he's got this like stupid looking. I call it stupid looking because I think he looks like an idiot when he's wearing this Eddie Bauer sweater. But it must do something to his hair because, um, like he gets like he turns into a cat. While he has this thing on, he'll rub up against you because the sweater moves, and the sweater, just reacts with all the way his fur pattern is, and it's like watching a cat and catnip. He can't get enough of it. He arches his back, his one leg goes crazy. And then they'll say like, maybe he doesn't like it. I'm like, well, but he keeps coming back. I don't know why that's automatically the thing. You found like that spot on the dog that the dog just absolutely loves having petted, and the conclusion is that he doesn't like it. I don't understand that. Okay, so tree, vegetation, tail. I'm gonna have to start laying in some details, and now that we have our basic form here. In fact, I wonder if I will see. I don't know when I'm going to go to ink, or if I'm going to go to ink. If I have to stop the stream, then I'll finish it and then post a picture of it in Discord and Twitter and stuff like that. But Miami Spice is very touchy-feely. Well, it's hard to tell just from talking, but I'll take your word for it. I think she's embarrassed. Yeah, so this dog, he's got like more so than I've seen on other dogs. Like his tongue is really like long. It's almost like too big for his head. So the last time we got him drugged, it was like hanging out of the side of his mouth. I had to take a picture. That's the effect that I'm looking for I think it's on the first. I got to go and take him, but I have to go to the vet to get Valium before we take him like to the vet, and I have to find he's got a seat belt. There's a seat belt for him somewhere, and nobody knows where it is. Yeah, exactly, Susie. That's where it is. It's a little bit up further than that. Yeah, it drives him absolutely crazy, but in a good way crazy. Okay. Man, this might actually be working. I might have a whole new bag here. Now, hopefully, the next time I do this, and maybe Brian will be back, who knows? But the next time I do this, it'll be a little bit more. A person can like stick around and offer more suggestions and the like. Does anybody here in chat, because this is a comic book related type thing, does anybody here in chat like either read comic books, are into like some of the Marvel movies and DC stuff? And I mean the good stuff. I'm not a huge fan of what Disney. I'm not a huge fan of what Disney does with anything that it touches. But since it's a comic book related thing, I figured I'd ask Yins. Good CBD for dogs may help. Yeah, we had some of that. Okay, Debbie. Appreciate you showing up. The graphic novels. Yeah, I used to too when I tried to, like when I was a kid, and then I moved out and I didn't have any money for it. And I've just kind of gotten back into it again, and collecting them and having time to read them, and two totally different things, let me tell you. There's a whole bunch of stuff that I need to, hundreds of dollars in comic books, and oh my goodness, I'm telling you what. And what is it with that that Scooby-Doo abortion thing that they're doing on HBO? Holy crap. Oh, that's cool. No no harm, no foul, Squaw Bob. I expected as much. I mean, I know where, I know where I got a lot of my audience. I'm not gonna hold it against them. But or any of you guys, that's cool. What is today? Wednesday. And yesterday was taco night. Thanks, Jen. I appreciate that. Yeah, and for a fledgling trial run on this, I'm fine with it if it gets cut short. I didn't I didn't give my wife really a whole lot of warning that I was going to be doing this right now. It's just sort of like I wanted to get it up and going while inspiration struck, and I might just start it over again whenever Brian comes back or whatever. But no big deal. We are adults, are we not? $6 Million Man. Lee Majors premieres 1980. Pink Floyd's On the Wall. It's number one. 1644. His first UFO. 1904. What is this about? Cary Grant does not become the first 007. I don't know about that. Would have been great. But can somebody tell me why Clive Owen was never tapped for that job? And he's got one of those ruggedly handsome faces that looks like he's been in a couple of fights. And wouldn't you expect that at least? Because you're not going to be a 007 right off the jump. You're probably going to end up getting in fisticuffs or something like that. I mean, you're not just good automatically. You have to take your lumps. And Clive Owen has a face that looks like it's taken some lumps. And I am an adult. Everybody says so. Or at least that's what they expect of me. I don't know if it's actually happened. I might not be an adult, but I play one on YouTube. I might not be a real adult. Do you know what makes you feel like a grown-up is when you realize how immature your parents are/were. The older you get, and then you remember, those childhood memories where your parents were acting less mature than you would ever act right now. Oof. I have a lot of those. Okay. That's some pretty good detail for the tail. Oh, are you? Totally. That sucks, man. Because, I mean, when we were kids, we always wanted to be adults so that we could do anything that we wanted. And, and then you get older and then you realize that really never, what is it they say? Be careful what you wish for. Yeah. Um, Out of all of the characters of all of the movies that I've ever seen is I can't remember it might have been Uncle Jimmy or whatever, but that the uncle that had to look after Napoleon Dynamite and his brother, bought a time machine. Man, if you could go back knowing what you know now, what would you do differently? I would start making money a lot earlier. I would buy Apple stock for sure. Okay, and the dog is going into the garage. Bear, bear. He goes into the garage when he thinks nobody's watching and he pees on the floor. He's like marking territory or something like that. Very, very rude. Yeah, I like to research my decisions to the extent that I can. And then, geez, aren't you still afraid to pull the trigger on some of them? Because some of those are decisions that you thought that you were researching pretty good. And then what happened? Huh? Why does that rumble stock keep falling? Oh, it'll come back, I'm sure. Yeah, Grandma says he's eating all our steak. He has learned to pee in the garage, not by watching anybody I know. He's learned that it's okay because I'm pretty sure I told him no, that's bad. I mean, and that's if that's what you're talking about. Yeah, well, you know what? It usually happens when I'm not here. My go-to, like anytime that I think that I don't want to like the dog is bugging me, um, but when he's bugging me, I'll ask him, do you need to go outside? I'll ask him if you need to go pee and whatever. I'll get up. He'll get up. He'll go towards the door, and that's always. I usually like that's what I get that a lot. Like he doesn't need to go pee. I'm like, well, then how come he's walking, toward the door? Um, it's not like I'm not going to sit there and consult a magic 8 ball when the dog is telling me by his very actions what he wants to do. Man, I don't even know if this is a correct muscle group, but okay. Oh man, for anybody that's still here, doesn't this guy need a name? It's supposed to be a stegosaurus, part stegosaurus. Because Brian he had dinosaurs on the brain today. Incidentally, if you do enjoy good graphic novels, it's a good independent graphic novel. Look up Six Gun Gorilla on Indiegogo. I've read it. It was a lot of fun. Uh, Good characters, a good and homages to some old West movies. But yeah, Brian's a talented writer. don't want to sacrifice quality for time, but there are moments in any one of these drawings where um, there'll just be one weird angle on like what I'm doing with the hand right now. That finger is not supposed to do that. It's supposed to be coming back towards me, even though I've only got two to deal with. But the palm of the hand is going back, so these fingers need to go back a little bit as well, and then up, and then the very last pad part of the finger is coming in towards you like this, and like maybe that's it. Two going in the same direction. Okay, here, 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 pad of the finger, base of the finger, middle knuckle. It's not exactly, Bob Ross. Pretty talons. They're your claws. You make them. You dream of the bloody claws. Well, not bloody, but eventually. And Stegosaurus has to eat. Stegosaurus guy's got to kill. We all know that. Yeah, sometimes it's better to just close your eyes and do it. You mean pee on the floor? Yeah, his previous owner may have let him get away with that. Yeah, it could be, and that could be. Now they're too long. I'll do this, like that, like that. Let's see. I'm gonna get some ink just on this one spot so I can finalize it. It's really bugging the hell out of me.
I'll let you know as we get things further. I mean, I know they have already, obviously we are not following, Ann Landers etiquette traditions or anything, but it's a wedding. A lot of it is on.
I don't know if you guys can hear the conversation happening upstairs, but my wife just referred to Ann Landers as the etiquette lady. And I'm pretty sure that's not how it works. I don't know what the etiquette lady's name is, but it's not Ann Landers. I think Ann Landers is just general advice. Klaatu Golisaur beer. Okay, my name is gonna be right back. Bicky the space pirate. Space pirate. Is anyone drinking tonight? I have coffee to counteract the adult beverages I was enjoying earlier. And then remembering to myself, hey, when you do that, it makes you tired. Very rough sounding monster when he deals with adults. You want something easier for kids to pronounce? Oh, I'm not even going to do anything with this, really. It could get sold at some point. But yeah, Bicky, let's make it, what do you call it? Child accessible. Kids just love space pirate dinosaurs. Oh, are you saying like a Bicky versus it'd be like an answer to Barney, like an anti-Barney? Where's that pencil at? I could handle that. I eat you. You feed me with your carcass. I love the taste of protein. They say like those man-eating bears, once you have human flesh, nothing else will do. That could have happened to Vicky. Very rough. I'm not sure I understand something easy for kids to pronounce. The anti-Barney. Yeah, I thought that's what you meant. Okay, so this is going to be darken here, darken here. All right, time to waste some ink. Where's that brush pen? There it is.
Right.
You see what happens? I start concentrating and the conversation drops off. I don't mean to be a bad host.
We had a successful shot and we're both, I hear her and they're drying her hair. So I think it's my turn to take care of things with the such.
Okay. Word. Gotta run. All right. Again, thank you for hanging out. I totally dig the efforts you guys made to come out here. It's very heartwarming. I'm a little bit more motivated than usual to get something finished here. I'm gonna start thinking in like blacks and whites and like something really stark and uh, try not to overthink it. There goes Miami Spice, such a nice girl. Uh-huh, yeah. I know that. Who Framed Roger Rabbit? That was an easy one. Sorry. I didn't mean to be rude. That was an easy one, though. I cannot remember what it's Turner something. It's Jessica Rabbit. What? It's not. Is it Kathleen Turner? Is that her name that does the voice? Expert has always given me like way too much credit on movie knowledge because I just happen to have an answer at the right moment at the right time. Doesn't mean I know everything, but it is Kathleen Turner. How about that? Okay. Maybe he's right. But when he does that thing where he's got a question and he actually calls out and goes, "Okay, tell me what the answer is, ID." Like, no, don't do that. Too much pressure. It has to just it has to come out on its own. Like a nice turd, you know, if you push it, you'll hurt yourself. That's it. The answers to life, all the really good ones, are like turds. You heard it here first. If I was really smart, I would just get a. The expert has a brain cloud and a ghost. Do you mean that person who like shows up sometimes right behind him and I'm leaving the shot, and smacks him when he's in the room all alone? That ghost? Yeah, Kathleen Turner, Bob Hoskins. And like honestly, the what was that the character at the end that Christopher Lloyd played? That thing was actually pretty freaky. Let's be honest. The Dip. Ghost Girl and a wife. Oh, all right. So is this lore that I don't know about? Does he really think he has a ghost? Is that a thing? Because I'm not on there all the time. I see him once in a while, and it's great. It's great to see him, but I don't like I was only in for a couple of minutes the other night, and then I had to bail. Grilling in the wires. Yeah, back from World War II. That's what they used to blame on all of the malfunctioning World War II planes. There's an old Bugs Bunny cartoon about that. Oh, clumsy clairvoyant. Bringing the paranormal to your YouTube channel's doorstep. Okay, so is it a play on words? Is it supposed to be a play on words? Okay, first of all, this pen is too thick. I need to get a finer pen because these hatch marks are too dark for my taste. But tell me how it makes sense. If you're a clairvoyant, wouldn't the last thing that you would, and I'm sure it's just a joke, but hear me out, is the last thing that you want to market yourself as is clumsy. In other words, you're a clairvoyant. You're supposed to see into the future, but you're clumsy. So you didn't see it coming a lot of times. Coffee's coming back. Like you whoops and tripped over something. And you figure if you're going to be able to see into the future, is it easier to see into the immediate future? Yeah, malfunctioning wire in the truck. Call it a gremlin as it kept moving. Yeah, I had a faulty wiring in my truck. I had a headlight that I couldn't figure out. It wasn't the bulb. It wasn't the fuse. It wasn't the, what do you call it? What do they call them? Relay, because in 2015, apparently Nissans didn't come with headlight relays. Couldn't find a wiring diagram. I ohm metered the thing back and forth. I had other people who knew what they were doing. That's what I mean, accident prone. So if you're you're supposed, if you're clairvoyant, shouldn't you be able to see accidents coming? Is my point. If you're clairvoyant, you're seeing into the future. Don't you also see those? Like, if you should never be a clairvoyant that says, "Oh man, I never saw that. I never saw it coming." Hence, how come you're clumsy? It's just a just a question. A little whimsical. Hey,
Yeah.
things that make you go, "Ow, my toe."
Oh, that's awesome. I love that.
All right.
That's awesome. Yeah. Yeah.
This should also be in shadow. Shadow. I need to get more comfortable with stark blacks and whites anyway. So the darker I make it, well, I don't want to make it too dark in the wrong spots, but I need to get out of the shell of having to show everything off. Too much. I mean, a lot of darkness is good for mystery, and I need these pens to run out of ink so that I can prove to myself that I actually used them. Uh yeah, I think Nissan. Yeah, well, there's the thing too, because I got a man. I didn't go halfway across the state to get it when I got it. This is a couple of years ago, but it was the truck that I needed. It was like that. It was like that perfect spot between this is what I can afford, and it's got low miles. It just happens to be out there. And then, like an idiot, I got the dealership warranty in case anything went wrong. Well, if I knew myself at all, I should have said to myself, you're not going to want to drive all the way out here just to see if if the dealership warranty is going to cover this thing that's not necessarily bumper or it's not a powertrain issue. Is it even covered? You don't have time for that. So I traded it in on a lease so that, every few years, I'm basically getting a new car, or I can have the option to buy it. And if there's any problems with it, they're not my problem because technically it's not my car. And I don't even know if, little things that go wrong don't bother me because I know I'm going to be putting it back in their hands in 2 years. And if it becomes too expensive, which it probably will, then I'll opt to buy the truck. So, you don't believe in ghosts, clairvoyants, or lizard people. I don't believe in ghosts in the traditional sense, but I do believe in, well, I do believe that Satan is at work in this place. And I think a lot of people that think they're dealing with ghosts aren't actually dealing with ghosts. They're dealing with something that wants them to think that it's a ghost. Woo! That's just my opinion. Like those ghost hunter shows, they always end up going into a basement. They go into like the wrong room, and then one of the guys on the team starts to look not at all like themselves. And then they're like, "Man, I just had so much hate. I was gonna kill you," and blah blah blah, and all this stuff. Like that's dangerous. Like, dude, something took you over, and yeah, let's film another one of those shows. Let's see. Did not buy out my truck. Best thing I did. You didn't buy out the truck. Though, I mean, I live on a pretty steep hill, and ever since I've had four-wheel drive, except for my HHR. When I had that, I can't live without it. And having a pickup truck. You know, you have to be old enough if you have a pickup truck, you have to be old enough that you don't have friends that are constantly moving, because that means that those friends of yours, they're really friends with you because you can help them move, and we all know it. You know, do they really? I mean, that better be good beer and pizza at the end of that. That's all I'm saying. A wooden box liner in your truck box. You mean bed liner? And you just got a bad spell check or autocorrect there? Because that sounds like a nicer truck than I got. I mean I have a newer truck, but I'm not trying to win any car shows with it. Oh, I think I overshot. You don't do the plastic bed liner. That's the worst thing. What you say? Because it's going to collect. Well, on the 2020 I had, that was a midnight edition that had seat warmers, that had the rail system with the tie downs. It had the tie downs that moved, and it had a spray and bed liner, and that was awesome. This one has the plastic bed liner that's like set in. I'm not really a huge fan, but again, I'm not gonna be responsible for them building a bad truck. They can just have it back. Oh, I see. I never experienced that. All right, look, are you talking about like some sort of a Pinto level accident because they're static and it's gonna, like charge the gas tank and make it go up in flames? Oh, slippery during snow. Well, when it's empty, it's slippery anyways. It's got no traction. Yes, exactly. Dark forces. Who needs that? There's my bro. Hey Jeff, what is happening? Did you see the description for this, Jeff? Actually, just a second. I gotta get a bottle of water. Okay. Okay. You build wooden box liners. Box liner and fit in the truck box. Here comes the beast again. I mean the dog. Mm-hmm. Don't go in there. Go upstairs. Go. Go up. Don't want him peeing in the garage. Okay. Oh, okay. I'm trying, Susie. I am. You don't have to dox yourself. I don't remember where you're from, but it sounds like you're in like the South, like Louisiana or something. Because isn't that there's a lot of oil rigging stuff there. Well, the description is I had Brian in here before, and I was doing that thing that we used to do with our sister, which was the ask some questions and then build a character based on that. Oh, Alberta, jeez. Yeah, it's a shame what happened to our XL pipeline. We could have been great friends, Susie. See, I knew I was close, and I said Louisiana. I mean, isn't that where we got our Cajun from? That's what Cajun is, isn't it? Cajun is Louisiana slang for Canadian. Have you guys seen Kit Bash's channel? You should check it out. It's a lot of fun too. He does movie quality starship models. Man, how black do I want to make this? I need to switch the. I either do the outline and all the thick stuff with this pen. I keep getting into details with this pen that I shouldn't be getting into. I should be sticking with just the outlines, nice and thick outlines, and then get into the details later. Yeah, so Brian came in with Man and Stegosaur, and then he had to bail. So I've been making it up from there. But it's that that game that we used to play on like long car trips and stuff. And I want to do that with. In fact, I think. Oh yeah, that's good. I want to see that when it's finished. I wanted to try this with you because I know you. It's not. I don't have to explain the concept to you. And we need to get a night where you and I can do one of these. In fact, yeah, these are going to be some dark clouds. If anybody wants to use their voice instead of their keyboard, the link to the show is right in there. get a little water. I think I'm going to I'm going to try some brush ink here. And I'm going to use some cheap stuff because I want to use it up on this here type stuff. Boy, is it watery. Ooh. And this is Higgins Black Magic. Maybe I need to shake it. Jeez, boy, is that translucent. I've got some other stuff. I got some P.H. Martin's Black Star high carb, and that is some good dark stuff. But I want to use this up. That's a little better. So far, just I've been using Forger to 3D sculpt. So far, just a disembodied torso. That's cool. What I don't know what Forger is. I had something really cool for my old Mac, my graphite Mac. What was it called? Amorphum. Yeah, I mean, it was basically you started off with this ball of virtual clay, and you started basically sculpting with it. That was fun. iPad Blender type stuff. What you're using it on the iPad is what it is. I mean, I barely use my iPad as much as I should use it more, but man, there's just so much stuff down here to do, to work with. Oh, that's cool. I mean, when I sit there and think about like, boy, wouldn't it be nice to have a gaming PC, and then I snap out of it 3 seconds later because I know I don't have time to use it. Which is why I'm doing this type of stream instead of the I'm not doing any reviews. I was saying to Mike earlier, to Brian earlier, I don't want to do any more. I don't want to do reviews. I don't think I'm very good at it. It takes too much time to edit, and it's just weird trying to. I'm getting rid of these hash marks. It's weird, trying to do constructive criticism with your contemporaries, and these are people that you're going to be asking for help later, and it's not smart to even almost. I mean, not that you would be trying to say the wrong thing, but people take stuff the wrong way all the time. Let me see who that is real quick. All right. Well, you're on.
Greetings, humans.
Greetings. Is your volume down?
I'm on my phone, so.
Dude. Oh. Whoa. Put the sandpaper down.
Me?
Yeah.
I'm just on the bed. I mean, I'm laying next to my attractive wife.
Nice.
Okay. Yeah.
No, I mean, whatever you were dragging that over, there's like the microphone was crackling and popping and stuff like that. Yeah.
Okay, that's me putting my hand right here, inches away. I don't know.
Okay. Well, I'm just letting you know. So how's it going?
Good. So you've been at this for an hour and 40 minutes, and this is as far as you've gotten.
Yeah, good one. Where's your picture?
I'm using my phone, so I don't have one. I was trying to upload pictures of the princess, but apparently they're big, or I don't know what I'm doing.
Okay. Well, don't sell yourself short. It could be both. Yeah, part of this is one of my very favorite streamers is David Finch. If you haven't seen his streams, he's very talented, very professional comic book illustrator, and he does these like Monday night draws, and he'll take something from pencil to ink, and he'll do it a lot faster than this. But how else is this going to happen unless it, you just, you do it. So that's what I'm doing. I'm doing it. And Brian might stop back in. I don't know, but
is it Horror Movie Club, Brian? I didn't hear that.
Yeah, Brian
Crisco.
Yeah.
I haven't been on that for a while. I can't convince myself I have anything to add. That dude's a brainiac.
Well, I mean, with the one, I keep making these jokes about ever since you did The Exorcist 2. And Brian, you can tell how much of a generous guy he is because he keeps giving that movie props when it doesn't necessarily. Well, it's sort of like this, because there are brilliant moments or because there's things that you get about the movie. And whatever. I mean, everybody has their own opinion, and that's great. He thinks it's a good movie. And I don't make fun of him because he thinks it's a good movie, but there's a little bit of towel snapping. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
How could you think that's a good movie? It's sort of like if you've ever seen, well, you know what I'm talking about though. Like you've seen a movie that has its moments, but on the whole, it was just put together like badly.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like this is a beautiful house, but half of the stairways lead to literally nowhere. And
the Winchester House, yeah. But so like Exorcist 1 and Exorcist 3, I like. Exorcist 2 doesn't need to be there. Same thing with Men in Black. Number 2 doesn't need to be there. Number 3 is awesome. Number 4,
I don't think I saw the third one.
Third Men in Black?
Yeah.
Oh,
I don't think I saw the third one.
It's as good as the first one, especially because it draws from the first one. The second one,
right? So there's some familiar ground. Some of the charm is present.
Same thing with Exorcist 3 and Exorcist 1. It's the same. Well, it's not the same. It's almost the same. Plus,
but that's what I mean. Like it's the same feel. I think that Nicole Williamson's character was a little shoehorned in. There, he didn't have as much of a backstory and introduction as he was Father Morning. I can't remember the name of the Max von Sydow's character.
Yeah, me neither.
But he had
he was
Karras, Father Karras.
Yeah. Well, yeah, Damien Karras is the younger guy. That's the one who at the end jumped down the stairs.
Yeah. Threw the camera.
Why can't I think of his name? Anyways, my point is that there was more in the beginning with him and his archaeological dig and all that stuff.
Oh, Father Marin. Father Marin.
Marin, yeah, that's it. Father Marin.
Father Marin.
So
crickets.
My point, I guess, is I thought that Nicole Williamson's character was a little bit shoehorned in because they didn't give him as much of a backstory and a history. But all in all, that movie it was creepier. It was more foreboding. I think in Exorcist 2, they were trying to put too many things in at once. And they had this whole like, well, geez, we've got Richard Burton, We've got Louise Fletcher, who I believe had already gotten either nominated or an award for Best Supporting Actress, didn't she? For One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest. She was Nurse Diesel.
Nurse Ratchet. That was her name.
Ratchet, yeah. Nurse Diesel is from High Anxiety.
Yeah. Oh, what? She was in that too?
No, the characters was Nurse Diesel.
Okay, so the facsimile.
Yeah, the what do you call it? The spoof.
Okay.
Yeah, that was Cloris Leachman. Remember?
Oh, right. Okay.
8 o'clock.
Gotcha.
If you're not at dinner at 8 o'clock, you don't get fruit cup.
Right.
Who was that? It was
It's
Thorndike. You're Thorndike. You're making too much noise. It's too much discipline.
Yeah, I forgot about that movie.
Discipline. I love that. That's one of the funniest things I've ever seen, and it's always like I'll say like, no, come here and watch this. Come here and watch this, and then this weird like bondage thing where he's just up in the closet. Like, was this improvised? Did they really like think about this first? I mean, I think it's hilarious, and I always got weird looks when I was like, wow, okay.
I don't know.
You know the scene I'm talking about?
Barely. That's why I gotta see it again. I painted our bedroom, and I was just like, I had something on. I was watching Ghostbusters and Ghostbusters 2 and Blazing Saddles because I've seen them so many times that you
don't have to watch them. You can just it plays out in your head.
Yeah. I actually started watching Discovery, like listening to Discovery at that point, Star Trek Discovery.
Now that's the one. That's the one with the guy from the Railroad show, right? Hell on Wheels.
Oh yeah, no. Well, he's in it, but most of it has the commanders keep changing, so the story is mostly focusing around Spock's adopted sister.
Okay.
Which is about as that's about as hard to swallow as his stepbrother from Star Trek: The Mistake.
Yeah, that's what I mean. I hate when they do that. They take stuff that they mess with canon unnecessarily.
But the coolest
they're constantly changing stuff that shouldn't be changed because they've got no original ideas.
Well, so there's two things that I do like about it for like a number of reasons. More than two things, actually. The props always. The Discovery itself has a thing called a spore drive. And I don't know if you've ever watched the Joe Rogan Experience, episode 1035, with Paul Stamets, the mushroom guy, the guy that knows all about mushrooms.
I mean, I haven't seen that one, but I know what you mean. I know what a mushroom is.
You should watch it. It's really, really mind opening. And that's no pun intended, but go ahead.
The way that cordyceps would open your mind.
Basically, it's the way that the mushrooms, like, they act, the way that they behave, their life cycle, the way that they're possibly the fossil record. Mushrooms are the oldest fossil, but so like by far. There's like a huge gap in the fossil record, but the mushroom is the first one. So there's that. Then they're the largest organism on the planet. There's a place in I think it's like in the the northwest. There's this huge mycelium network underground, and it's a giant mushroom, like a giant mycelium network. So basically, in Discovery, there is a galactic mycelium network, and so the Discovery has a thing called a spore drive, and it has a giant water bear. I can't remember the technical name for it, but it's like this giant water bear thing that controls it, or that they coax or compel to use this thing. Later on, it curls up and dies, but the scientist who discovered the mycelium network the character's name is Paul Stamets. So it's like, huge connection.
Mm-hmm. An Easter egg.
I thought that was really interesting. The phasers, the barrels of the phasers look like the barrels of the phasers, just the barrel of the pilot. Remember they had like 3 cylinders, you had to click them into place.
Yeah.
Okay, so they were so the props are pretty cool. The and of course the effects are awesome. The story goes all over the place, and we went to go. I was talking with a recent friend of ours. He's mentioned how he goes, well, you know how like J.J. Abrams took the reboots and basically splintered off, so he has his own timeline, so he can do whatever he wants with them
Yeah.
without ruining canon.
Sorry, Slave Lake, Alberta, one of the largest mushroom forests. They discovered that one first. Hey, there it is, right there in the chat. Susie tried is bringing the knowledge.
Yeah, thank you, Susie. Alberta, Canada, right? So is that on the left side? Is that on the west coast over there? Is that where Alberta is, or is that Quebec is on the right side, on the east
Quebec
side?
is on the right side. Ontario is on the right side. I think Alberta is. Well, she'll tell you.
I
thought that was more like above Detroit.
I ain't too smart with land smarts. But
he likes to read books and such.
Books. Let's see.
Those things that you are talking about, they live in outer space and they can eat electricity. Is that what you're talking about?
Oh, the water bears. Yeah, they're microscopic. They look like
I think Susie's been watching that show.
Well, no, she just knows what a water bear is. She might be watching the show, but I can't remember the name of it, but basically if you look it up, it looks like a bug wearing an Arctic coat. You know what I mean? It's got like 6 legs and like a snout, but it looks like it's inside of a huge, comfy North Face type thing, you know?
Okay. And this is where you're like finding brilliance in this show, even though people, generally speaking, don't like it. The same way that Brian would find brilliance in The Exorcist 2, even though it's that Star Trek Discovery has Stairways to Nowhere. Are you there? I guess he's not there. The phone did its thing.
I had to go off for a second.
Really?
Well, I'm having a conversation with. I had to remind my sister to please do the laundry. What?
When I talk, it comes back through the speakers because it's going from your phone into your microphone.
That sucks. All right.
I'm just saying, it's not aggravating. It's I can tell. That's all.
Yeah.
What I'm trying to say. It doesn't make you less of a person.
Put on my handy dandy things.
And Susie is, yeah. Wow. I'm going to get a paper towel real quick. Real quick. Stink bugs. Okay. So I mean, I have some water over here. I'm trying to blot out this paintbrush. Okay. Anyways, that was Jeff, or it is Jeff.
I'm trying to use
It might be, and could be again.
I had these handy dandy headphones. I don't know if they're working.
Well, can you hear me when I talk through your headphones? You're coming in good and loud. It's because I'm standing right here.
Yes, Jane. Just wanted to make sure you could hear me.
Yeah, I can hear you. I want to hear you. I don't want to hear you hearing me. Anyways, yes. Susie's doing some really great commentating on you getting your headphones set up, which I find to be a very valuable service, because it lets me know that Susie is hearing the same thing that I'm hearing, which is you and your 80 grit sandpaper headphones.
Does it sound bad?
When you're moving them around, yeah. I mean, you can tell when you got your hands on them. It's like,
jeez, how does it sound now?
and it's fine as long as you keep your hands off them. You know what I'm saying? Or either that, or you're messing with your phone, and you're like thumbing the mic or something.
What if somebody's eating potato chips next to me?
Then it's delicious. I don't know. It's not. Don't try to blame it on somebody else. You're getting your own boomer juice all over your stuff. That's what's happening.
Boomer juice. That camera's not even on. I could.
Yeah. Do I want to black out this whole leg? I don't think so. I'll go that far. No father. Okay, so anyways, the tangent, I believe, got started because I said Exorcist 2, and that it had moments of brilliance, or that there was a plot that could have been understood if it had the room to breathe, which it didn't, because there was a whole bunch of other concepts being thrown in. One of them was, and I think it had to do with how popular this type of stuff was at the time in the 70s, which was like some ESP joint. It was like a sharing a past life experience with somebody with these weird headphones on, and they're like, oh, that's a really cool concept. Let's put that in there. They shouldn't have done that. Like, there was a lot of fat that they thought would be significant to the story, and they didn't. Like, Richard Burton didn't need to be in that movie. The James Earl Jones character did, and it would have made more sense to expound on that character, which was the kid that was possessed in the desert in the beginning. He's like spinning that African instrument around, trying to get rid of the locusts, and whenever they come up with the idea being that this is turning into crap, this leg anyways, there's too much stuff, and they needed to, and like, if you're Christopher Nolan, then you can do complicated and make it and get it to work out somehow. That guy who he does have his moments of brilliance. It's not like he's a bad director, but
the Exorcist
he wouldn't be able to do something like Inception.
The Exorcist wasn't complicated though. It was overpacked. Is what you were saying.
That's what I mean. It was. Yes, it was necessary. It had too much stuff in it that wasn't relevant to telling the story. And like you said, it was overpacked. It was it was just weighed down by too much junk.
Yeah.
In
Dogs.
fact, it probably had enough material in there for 2 movies. One of them would have been The Exorcist 2, and the other one would have been something completely different. And I would have gone that way.
I gotta flip my laundry. Keep talking.
Okay. This is where I stopped talking, just because he told me to keep talking. You can't tell me what to do. You're not the boss.
Please keep talking.
Well played. Well played, clerks. They didn't.
Look,
Yeah.
Lydia, your
Uncle Dave.
Susie gets it. She understands. Yes. Sometimes the producers can be like a godsend. Imagine what Star Wars would have been if there wasn't somebody to rein in George Lucas. And I know that sounds really weird to say, but
that's sometimes you need to hear the word no.
for a first-time director, I think it would have been overly complicated too. There would have been extra stuff in there that you didn't need that just slowed the movie down.
Well, you've heard Dana Gould's thing, right?
Well, actually, no, but in a second, if you watch Red Letter Media, I think it's Red Letter Media, and they do their Mr. Linkett's his review of the first episode 1 and then episode 2, and those are like really good. They're hilarious, but they're also very informative as far as George Lucas put in a script. It was a first draft, and nobody said, hold on. There's a whole crawl at the beginning of the movie about politics that no child is going to care about, and also why are Jedi supposed to be envoys for some trade dispute. I mean, they're Jedi Knights, they're not politicians. Can we please rethink this somehow? But stuff like that you were saying, Dana Gould's thing.
Oh, well, Dana Gould's thing was I think you can find it on YouTube. It's basically he has 3 things. Okay, so he goes up on stage. He doesn't know what he's going to have to talk about. The topic.
Oh, I know the thing. Yeah, that's Without a Net.
Yeah.
Comedy without a net.
The comedy without a net. Sometimes you need to hear the word no.
Yeah. He does that imitation of like a Star Wars nerd. Just because episode 1.
Episode 1 is that. Yeah, episode 4. By episode 1, by episode 4, you mean episode. Yeah, but talks about how like there's all he puts in like a robot washing the window.
Yeah.
There's this scene. Yeah, but there's also this.
It is. It's
fighting.
They mention that in that Red Letter Media thing too. They're like, it is so chocked full of stuff and crap. It's not necessary. And that's one of the things. Like, George Lucas, he wanted to have a really awesome cantina scene and couldn't do it, and maybe that was for the best at the time, and he got a chance to do that Aliens from Everywhere deal with Jabba the Hutt's lair. Awesome, great, but then computers, and then you should just he should have left Star Wars alone, really. Like, do you really think it's necessary to have some weird dino alien step in dino alien poop and have a human reaction like, oh no, I stepped in dino alien poop in the middle of Mos Eisley? Like, why in this center of scum and villainy do you need some sort of just that moment of comic relief? You know what I mean? That's dumb. Yeah, Susie is
agree.
correct. They have done that to a lot of movies. And it's just like leave it alone. It was awesome for what it was. In on one hand, you know, you have guys like J.J. Abrams, whose entire career is based on nostalgia, and then on the other hand, you have a bunch of guys who are going back to stuff that doesn't need to be changed and changing it and ruining the nostalgia. Is what I think.
Yeah. So, well, what do you think about like Mission Impossible, where they're taking all those? I mean, they're taking a property and like not like redefining it, but they're just going back to the drawing board and sticking with that. They're not drawing from anything except for maybe making the character's name the same.
Did they? I don't know. I never watched the show actually.
I wonder if they did.
Is there an Ethan Hunt in the TV show?
I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, I don't know.
No.
Susie tried my
Susie. Is Ethan Hunt?
into the future, and bam, their computers were sucky. You know, that's
Yeah, their computers were sucky, and their tape machines really dangerous. It's like a Samsung Note.
yeah, okay. When you have those like 3D representations of people, like the Emperor, or you know, like an Empire Strikes Back, isn't Darth Vader standing there while the guy's on the AT-AT walker? You know,
Yeah.
and he's got it's like low resolution by our standards today. You know, like if you're going to do Prometheus and you know that it is pre-Alien, you should actually make the effort to antiquate that material, to antiquate that equipment. There's nothing wrong with that. In fact,
That means that they would have to go with like Scott Bakula's Enterprise and make like, because it's not technology, it's more of an aesthetic.
it's like a giant toenail, and I didn't want to do that. Well, it's there now.
Sorry, these dogs. But it's a design.
Holy crap, man!
What?
He's like, I'm gonna feed the
I had to pick up
dog.
my
I'm gonna
phone.
feed the dog, and then I'm gonna drywall this bathroom.
I had to pick up the phone. I had to put the phone down and then untouch it and then get the dog food and then retouch the phone.
You touch
I can't believe you
me.
didn't complain while I was filling up the washing machine.
Okay. Susie tried said she did like the show. In the TV show, they focused on characters and used what stuff was available. I think in that she's talking about Mission Impossible. I'm gonna take David Finch's advice. When in doubt, black it out. And then black it out again because this is terrible ink. All right, so there, I did it. Blacked it out. And this is actually happening. I can't believe it. Okay, how about this? We see sequels all the time, sequel upon sequel upon sequel. Don't think that every movie necessarily needs a sequel. Like when you get into, I mean, when it's almost like when you get into horror movies, the worse they are, the more sequels there will be. But can you, and it doesn't have to be a horror movie, but can anybody tell me a movie that they think should have had a sequel but didn't? Nobody ever says, "Oh man, you know what? That one should have had a sequel." It's always, why do they keep making these bad sequels? I tried watching Superman 2 the other day. Oof. How I even liked that as a kid, I was questioning myself. That movie was so bad. The only thing good about it was Terrence Stamp.
The only thing I can think of that every movie I think of they should have had a sequel, they did, and it wasn't as good. You know, like, how about The Sting? Oh wait.
Yeah, I was just talking about that one earlier. They thought they could do a Minnesota Fats again. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They'll bring that character from The Hustler, and that'll
Yeah.
work.
There was what was the one that Tom Cruise was in, Color of Money? That is actually a sequel.
Yeah, to The Hustler.
Yeah.
That was good though. That was Martin Scorsese. See, I always thought
2001, 2010.
that was good.
Yeah.
Peter Hyams had it. I'm not saying there's a sequel that was actually good. I mean, Wrath of
No,
Khan.
I keep thinking of movies that I liked so much that I'm like, it's like one of those things where you're like, you put your hand up in the air and you go, oh, and then you bring it back down. You're like, wait, what? Oh,
Yeah, a movie that should have had a sequel but didn't. They caught repeats.
I think, and Elena will agree with me on this, which is important to say. When you when we watched The Canal, she kept saying that it would have been better to have more history of the house and the documentary that guy was going through.
Okay.
Instead of making it as much of a psychological thriller, so it was more of like he was drawn in by the history, or like there was like a I don't want to say like a metaphysical connection to what was happening, because the dude was involved, but for the most part it was all inside that guy's mind.
He would have been possessed and not known it.
Yeah.
It had that Angel Heart quality.
Right. Angel Heart has a sequel to it, but only in book form, I'm pretty sure.
It does?
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe nobody wants the controversy that came with that first one.
Oh, geez. I mean, back then, I guess it was controversy because we let somebody make it controversy. That whole thing they were talking about with the sex scene, I'm like, does nobody remember Star Trek? Does nobody remember Captain Kirk and Uhura?
No, it doesn't have to do. It wasn't anything about that. It was just that Lisa Bonet was so young, and she was also. It was more of a Bill Cosby getting his ire up about it than anything else. She had a career; it was going someplace, and the Cosby Show, present history notwithstanding, was supposed to be a wholesome family show, and how is anybody going to watch this after this movie? Every time they see what's her face Huxtable on there, they're going to see her naked in their head. That's all that was. It didn't have anything to do with the race.
Okay. Still thinking.
I always thought, and maybe because it's just one of my favorites, Running Scared. Running Scared should have had a sequel.
Oh yeah, you always like that. Well, that would have been So
same guy that directed 2010, by the way.
Oh really?
And Outland. You could always tell, man. He had that smoky atmosphere to his cinematography.
Yeah. Outland. That'd be a good sequel. How would the sequel go though?
Well, you could go one of two ways. In fact, because do you remember the set? I think he informs it was Hughes and Costello. Was it Bertigliano and Montoya, the two young detectives? Remember, the captain says, "Teach these guys everything you know," and then he says to the young detectives, don't catch me. Don't you let me catch you doing anything these guys tell you."
Right.
There's your sequel, and it doesn't have to be just them, but it could be like a little bit later where now there's the four guys. You know what I mean? Instead of just Billy Crystal and Gregory Hines.
But at the end of the movie, they have their dream, right? So
they don't move to Key West. They decide to stay.
Oh, I thought they moved to Key West. I thought that's where it could pick up.
Well, that could happen too. You want to hear something cool that Sylvester Stallone is re-editing Rocky IV? I do recall The Sting. The Sting is a very awesome movie, so awesome that it won Best Picture in 1973. I was reading the chat. That was Susie
Yeah.
tried. Susie tried it. She's what's the word? She's doing oh, she's participating, which is always always a plus. I have the phone right in front of me, so um, I'm only seeing the YouTube delay.
I'm not actually looking at the chat. I'm looking at you draw, which I assume is the point.
Uh, yeah, I mean, whatever floats your boat.
Um,
It's easier to have the phone right in front of me so I can see what's going on. But yeah, I don't know, man. I'm trying to just do all my heavy blacks, and sometimes I'm thinking like the one light source is the moon, and I'm using this brush. I'm trying to move things along quickly, and I feel like I might be over blacking this. I've never really been comfortable just doing like big swaths of black because I end up, I think, knocking out detail. Like most of it's all down here. And anyways, um, that's something for another day. I'm going to stop with the brush for right now. Well, actually, no. I've got a lot of background to fill in here. In fact, I could just do this see if I could do like a wash. Well, that didn't sound good.
No,
that sounds like a clumsy dog.
It is a clumsy dog. For some reason, the dog, and here's the funny thing. So the dog likes to chase the cats.
Oh.
And so there's a cat in between the bookcase and the couch, and he's trying to get it out like Tomcat looking for Jerry. But he jumps off of a piece of furniture that has another cat underneath it anyway. So I don't. Yeah, he's a dummy.
Yeah, we have dumb dogs too.
And then there's Link. Link is the one that does the best imitation of the Thing.
What, he just sits there and waits for his head to peel back like a banana?
When you pinch his snout above his nose, he shows his teeth. And it reminds me of that one section of the Thing when they uncover it.
Mm-hmm.
Wilford Brimley does that great job of just covering his nose and coughing.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, a young Wilford Brimley at 26. Looks like me at 46. Anyways, yeah, Running Scared I thought would make a great sequel. I mean, and it's not like cop buddy movies wouldn't have worked. I mean, how many Lethal Weapons were there? And those weren't anywhere. I didn't think they were anywhere near as funny. And sometimes I wonder if it's just, that movie holds a special place in my heart. So now I want to see more of it, whether it would be worth it or not. But I think that was a really good movie as a sleeper. Do you remember that one like romantic comedy with I may have to rewatch it and see if they had see if they had it remade. The Sting? I don't believe no. Man, I would have known it if they did. The Sting is one of my favorites. Is that what she's talking about?
The Sting 2 is the one.
That's the one with Carl Malden and Jackie Gleason.
Right.
Yeah, and they make it about pool. I lent a copy of this. See, this might not be a good idea for me to be doing this. I lent a copy of Narc to a guy from work. Have you ever seen that?
No. That's a television, like a series, right?
No, that's Narcos.
Okay.
Narc was directed by Joe Carnahan, who I had discovered. My old boss, you remember Skip? I used to airbrush with him
Yeah.
at the mall. He had a box of these of videotapes that they were just old videotapes. He's getting rid of them. I was like, maybe there's something in here. And I saw this thing that he directed called Blood Guts, Blood Guts, Bullets, and Octane. And it was, his style of directing is like Tarantino, but with more action oriented. If you saw Smoking Aces, that was his. The A-Team he directed. He also did
really?
Gray. He also directed The Gray, which isn't a typical movie of his. It's very what would you call it? It's actually kind of like slow and depressing. But I've listened to him interview before, and he's smart. And he's one of those. It's almost like you're like, oh, man, I hope nobody else listens to this interview because Hollywood. He's too smart for Hollywood. No one will hire him. But Blood, Guts, Bullets, and Octane is, it's almost like it's black and white. It's got a real independent feel. There's but the story actually it like at the very end, you know how like when like a good story gets you and you're like, I did not see that coming at all. That happens. I love when that happens. Like I like it when I'm smarter than a movie, but I also like it when the movie's smarter than me, because that's when I really start following. Anyways, Narc is Ray Liotta and Jason Patrick, and it is not this guy doing a movie that he's obligated by contract or anything like that. He this is his own personal, like it's sort of like Joss Whedon directed this movie and that movie, and sometimes it hits and sometimes it doesn't. But Firefly was his own personal thing, and you can tell because everybody really cared about it.
Yeah.
It's like that. All right, I'm leaving this guy alone because it's starting to turn into mud. Narc is Ray Liotta, Jason Patrick. Busta Rhymes is actually is in it near the end. Those are the only names that I remember. But it has the single most intense opening scene that I've ever seen in a movie. It is a literally I don't know what this is, and then you watch the opening scene and you're like, okay, I'm going to be here for the next 2 hours. Hold all my calls.
I think I might have to watch that.
It's so good.
Well, I'm thinking of watching it now because it's like I don't want to drag you into the misery that is my morning commute, but I have one coming up.
Is your what?
My morning commute.
Yeah. Oh, what time is it?
It's like 10:30, but I'm gonna.
Yeah, I
Like
could
I've been
go
out-
too though, because I gotta get up early.
Oh, so okay, it's all my fault.
No, I mean I do.
Sorry,
It's like, this is pretty. I feel good about where I'm at.
No, I wouldn't.
Okay, that's fine. Your face is frozen on the screen, by the way.
Oh, is it really? It's just black as far as I can tell. There, how's that?
Yeah, that's better. Much better. It looks much better.
Nothing like you. Okay.
But yeah, I can't stay up very much. In fact, my dumbass started drinking coffee right before I got on here because I didn't want to. I needed an upper.
Yeah, that's also one of the reasons I haven't been on the movie thing for a while. I'm like, I feel like great, Jeff's here. Okay.
I don't know what you mean.
Like you show up.
You mean a horror movie thing?
Yeah.
Well, what? You're not supposed to carry the the thing. It's just you show up, you have a good time. That's it.
At least contribute, you know. Like,
Well, do you watch the movies?
I didn't watch the last one. I thought I did, but it turns out I watched Samurai Cop instead.
Why?
I couldn't figure out why. Why would he want me to watch Samurai Cop?
How did you? No. Yeah, I was drinking coffee so that I could not. I don't know. I've just I had a couple of shots of I had some vodka in a glass of wine, and then I was like, I don't want to be that here on this.
Yeah.
I want to,
You don't want to be looking at the back of your head while you're drawing. Sorry, guys.
Dude.
It's Paul.
No, that's happened before. I caught somebody sleeping on their own stream once. It was all in fun, you know. We still talk about it anytime I show up on his, but it was just like me and the other person that were on the stream were, it was like a draw thing like this, except for it was just a bunch of people drawing. And we kept hearing this noise, and we didn't know, what it was. And I was like, it sounded like, I was like, is he sharpening something? Because when it comes over the speakers, somebody's snoring. It's not like it goes. What is that? We just decided that he was asleep. And then I started, imagining, whatever. I don't want to keep bringing it up because I feel like I'm beating him over the head, but I started drawing my character. I put a CPAP mask on him, and then I had like a he had like a little thought balloon where he was dreaming about his morning cup of coffee, and it was fun. But I think I don't think I hurt his feelings.
I hope not.
It's sort of like just like the stream equivalent of, somebody sticking your hand in a warm glass of water while you.
Yeah, we did that to Chris Kowalski that one time.
Did it work?
You were there.
Oh, I don't know. Yeah. So, yeah, but anyways, I'm just gonna get this outline on here, and I think I'm gonna call it. If Brian's, I don't know whenever else I would have time to do this. I'm on nights next week, which means I don't get home till about 2:00, and the only audience that I'm going to be able to get is going to be from like Australia or something. So either that, or I do it during the day and I draw until I have to go to work. But I'll definitely try to finish this. This shouldn't take too much longer. Just fill in some background and add some detail, and then erase my stuff. But I don't know. I have white pens, which are coming really, really handy if I want to put some detail in, like decide that I want to sort of erase, I guess. That kind of helps. Or if I want to add detail through here, they're like gel pens. I don't know that they're the best. They sort of come out, it kind of comes out like a little milky, I guess.
Well, otherwise it's going to be chalky, right?
As long as it's white, I don't care what the texture is. You know what I mean? I just want the effect, because when you look at I have a really, well, it's buried under some stuff, but I have a really cool book, the John Burns Marvel Classic Artifact Edition.
Yeah.
Let's see if I can grab it. I mean, it's over here, it's just under things. And when they print it, this is the cover. You can see this, the yellowed rubber cement.
Yeah.
Other places where they had, I mean, I have a piece of original work from Preston Acevedo from one of his comic books. And you can see the blue line, right?
Mhm.
But then you can also, yeah, something, I don't know if you can see that. Where is it? Something happened here. Can you see here? Let me see this. See this? Something happened right here. It was he
Yeah.
like whited out over something, you know?
Yeah.
So that's cool when you get that. But anyways, this is really cool. These are all this whole thing was printed at original size at like 11 by 17. You can see this.
Wow.
See the tape?
Yeah. Did you like Luke Cage? Did you watch that?
I downloaded Wu-Tang's Bring the Ruckus. I did like that song.
Okay.
You know the one when he goes in and just like kicks everybody's ass. He puts in his headphones. Bring the ruckus. But
I don't recall that.
oh, I don't. If I don't have coffee in the morning, no one talks to me. I am not around anyone in the morning. That's good for them. I'm sure they feel the same way.
If I don't have any coffee in the morning, I wouldn't know if anybody's talking to me.
See what you did there.
Yeah. But it was a pleasure, and I gotta go. And
Yeah, I gotta go too. I gotta go, Susie.
all you
Thanks
guys.
so much for hanging out for as long as you did. I'll post something. I'll post this in Twitter, Discord, whenever it's whenever it's finished. And since I said that, I'm probably gonna have to finish it now. But thank you. I'm gonna head upstairs and start counting sheep or whatever
Yeah.
it is we do
We
to
can tell once said.
get
I
this.
gotta go.
Yeah. So
Okay.
I'm turning it off. Thanks,
All right.
Susie.
Bye-bye.
And hey, don't forget to like and subscribe and share and views.
Yay.
Yes. Good night, planet. Thanks, Susie. You too. Be awesome as usual.